What up? This is Robert Ory.
Ory, three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Ory for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Ory from downtown.
All right, one more this week. It is the shoot-around. We've done 82 of these jokers. I keep count of everything because I'm OCD that way. It is the Big Shot Bob podcast. That's B-Dog Brandon Harper. I'm Rob Jenners. That is 7-time NBA champion. Shaking off that Hall of Fame ballot like it never happened. Robert Ory. All right, how did, by the way, we talked about it like super briefly at episode 200. You didn't get the nod. You were on the ballot, didn't get passed on to the final. You said you didn't think it was going to happen, but did it hit you any kind of way, or you just were like, okay?
I was more like, okay.
Okay. And that's fair. I just figured I'd ask. You know?
Because I had talked to James, I talked to Coop. You know, those guys, they got nominated. They didn't make it on the first try. You know, those guys are, you know, they've got awards other than rings. And so for me, I was like, if they didn't make it on the first try.
Yeah, James Worthy took 3 tries to get in. Yeah, I got you.
Okay. You know, I think James is a MVP finalist. You know, I mean, finals. He won finals and MVP. You know, MVP in the finals.
Yeah.
Coop has won Defensive Player of the Year like two or three times, and so I ain't won shit.
Well, I know, but like I know sometimes you won 7 titles, what you did. But like sometimes, and this happens to me, like you know something might be out of reach, but you kind of convince yourself. You're like, well, maybe. Hold on, maybe I legitimately could do this. And then you start to build yourself up, and then when it doesn't happen, you're like, why'd I do that to myself? Son of a bitch. You know?
I know. Hey, I you know, for me, I had like 99% of me is like, no, motherfucker, you ain't getting in. And 1% like, I'm going to keep some hope alive because you never know.
And that one little 1% got his ass stomped out. Like, get your ass back down there. We're going to try this again another year. But, you know, hopefully, we're going to continue to get our friend Clayton Crowley to make videos about you until you get into the damn Hall of Fame, all right? I told him, I was like, we might need your help. What are you waving at me?
Yeah. No, I was wiping off my dust. It was dust on the computer. I was wiping it off.
I don't know what was on the computer. I could clean this up before she comes in.
That was rag. See?
Oh, okay. I thought you were waving the white flag. I didn't know what was happening. I was like, don't give up. Don't give up. We got hope. All right. We brought up Stephen A. list on the last show on that dropped on Wednesday. I want to talk briefly about Stephen A. here quickly because he threw up a list I thought was kind of interesting. I wanted to pick your brain on it because obviously the Lakers are on it. He threw up the top 5 challengers to the Celtics this season. Number 5 was the Mavericks. He had the Mavericks on this list. Number 4 was the Nuggets. Number 3 was the Lakers. And then the Thunder and the Cavs were 2 and 1 respectively. No Warriors on this list, even though Draymond Green guaranteed a Warriors win this year. They're 5-1 with Jimmy Butler, but they did not make Stephen A.'s list. But the Lakers sure did. So are we holding on to hope here? Do we think this is a legitimate thing? Because I know Rob, you said on the other show they feel like they need to win this year.
Oh yeah. For me, I think you got to throw Denver in there too.
Well, yeah, they were up there. They were number 4.
Oh, they were number 4?
Yeah, they were 4. So it was Mavericks, Nuggets, Lakers, Thunder, Cavs. Those were his top 5 to compete against. Yeah, the Cavs were number 1.
Yeah, that's about it right there. To be honest with you.
Okay.
There's nobody else that I can think of. I mean, if you want a dark horse, maybe the Rockets or the Clippers. But I don't count the Clippers because you can't keep Kawhi healthy. But
you can't.
That's probably his best list he's ever done.
Wow. Okay. So you legitimately think the Lakers are up in that contention?
Oh yeah. Anytime you got LeBron, now you got Luka. Yeah. Okay. I think so.
Who would you like to see take on Boston in the finals? Not Eastern Conference Finals. Obviously Eastern Conference Finals. I would love to see the Cavs and the Celtics. But do you want to see OKC? You think OKC can get it done this time around?
It'd be interesting because you really think about it. Boston's still a really young team. If you take out a couple of guys, and OKC is a young team. So these are the future. You think about back in the day when you had Bird and Magic, and then you had there's really the Kings and the Lakers. You had a couple of rivalry teams. I think if you could really start a good rivalry with OKC and Boston. So I think that'd be fun to see OKC in it.
Harp?
Yeah, I probably got the same teams.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I think probably around there. Yeah, I wouldn't deviate too far from what Rob was saying.
Okay, good deal. Question from Scott. Rob, we had a pretty amazing photo surface last week of Steph doing the night-night celebration after the Golden Dagger at the Olympics. Did you see the picture, the photo that came out? They released a photo last week. It's a dope photo. The crowd in the background is wild because you see everybody just going like completely nuts cheering for USA. People online saying it was the best crowd reaction photo in NBA history, but for me, it's still the Jordan shot over the Jazz. Rob, what's your favorite NBA photo? That's this question.
Mine.
Yeah, like your of yours, which one?
Mine of the Pistons.
Of the big one?
The Pistons. Yeah, when I make that shot, and you see the fans like, no, and you got that one fan in the crowd like, yeah, because he knows it.
He knows
and
it's
so
going.
for me, it's like it's a great picture. I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but I'm trying to look around here and see if it's in here. But it's a really cool picture, and I think the other one is for me, of course, is after I make the shot. It was on the Lakers cover for a long time, and you see the rock in the background like this. And so, to me, those are mine. But I think the number one is when you see the fans crowd, the fans reaction. You get that one guy that knows his money.
That just knows it's going to drop, and everybody else is like,
picture.
no. Harp, do you have a favorite NBA photo? And it doesn't necessarily need to be a crowd photo or a game photo, but I mean, there are some pretty iconic ones.
Yeah, I think I got a couple. One, it was obviously the Jordan
over the Jazz. I still think
the quote unquote push on Brian Russell, and then the shot
that might be still one of the best.
His shot over Craig Elo.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking about because they released one of there was like a 4K version that you can zoom in and see every person in the crowd. It might have been a shot over Elo.
Also, another one is I think it may have been one of Kobe's final All-Star games where LeBron decides to guard him. And Drake stands up. He's in the picture, has on a really nice, I don't know if it was an NBA coat. And you see LeBron getting in the defensive stands trying to, quote unquote, guard Kobe. And that's when everybody stood up because that's what everybody was looking for to see LeBron guard Kobe or Kobe guard LeBron one-on-one. And there's a still photo of that, and I think it's pretty dope.
It looks like Rob has the picture.
Yeah, it's actually this photo. I don't know if you can.
Oh, that one. Yeah. I've seen that.
Because you got the one guy, like right here. You probably can't see him. He's like covering his face up.
I see it.
Yeah.
Like he knows his money.
See, that's my favorite part of the crowd reaction photos is zooming in and finding all those people, like finding and I think it was the one. God, which one was? I think it was when LeBron broke the scoring record, and the whole crowd is phones. Like all you see is the entire crowd is the back of everybody's phone, and you can't barely see anybody's face except one dude. There's one dude, Phil Knight, CEO of Nike, just standing there like this, watching it, going, "That's my guy. That's my guy about to break the." And it's like everybody else had their damn phones out. And it's like, man, you missed history, man. You're gonna be in that photo forever with your phone in front of your face.
Yeah, it's so weird when people do that. You know, for me, it's even like when people go to concerts, they filming it. I'm like, enjoy the concert.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm on both sides.
So I'm on both sides too. But like, if it's someone like a Michael Jackson or someone iconic, you do it. But
but Beyonce is iconic.
Yeah,
she is, but in the same heartbeat, I kind of fall in line where Rob. So I'm gonna take this a little bit off topic for just a half a second and bring it back. My aunt passed away. She got buried in Arlington National Cemetery this past weekend. When you go to Arlington, they tell you can't take photos.
Right.
Like if you're out on the grounds and stuff, your phone is in your pocket. You take your phone out of your pocket, somebody in a very nicely dressed uniform and a sword gonna come smack your ass. It ain't happening. So I had to kind of just enjoy the moment of getting to see the band come out and the 21 gun salute and the ceremony and the flag and all that stuff. And you're forced to be there in the moment. And looking back at it, I'm like, actually, that's really cool. And I was kind of forced to just be there for it because everything in me is like the band is playing and I'm like, I got to like snap a video or get a photo or something. And you couldn't do it.
Right.
So it was kind of like forced to be there in the moment, which I actually kind of enjoyed. So
no, I definitely
that happened to me once too.
Yeah.
Can you guess where I was when they said no phones?
Oh, I can't even begin to imagine. You could have been anywhere.
I was in the Kremlin.
The Kremlin. Oh, that's
Kremlin.
that's one. Yeah, that's one. I was gonna guess the White House because
No,
usually
the Kremlin.
when you're in the White House, they're big on like.
Well, guys,
But
have
I've
their
seen
phone
plenty
out
of
a lot.
photos from
Yeah,
the White
they have
House.
their
Now
phone
that I think
out a lot.
about it, yeah. Okay.
And I think that's where the both sides come in because when you start talking about places like Arlington Cemetery or things like that, it is the fact that you're forced not to have your phone out that allows you to just kind of take everything in a way in which you wouldn't if you did have your phone out because you're worrying about capturing everything.
Mm-hmm.
So on one end, yes, I'm fully there with you. I think on the other hand, like when most people nowadays, outside of stupid stuff where they want to capture it, when you start capturing a final shot in a big game, or if you're at Game 7 of a World Series, or the Super Bowl, like those are moments that only a small amount of people can be at. Not just watching on TV, but just actually to be there. And God forbid something iconic happens, that's the way people can go back to their memory bank and be like, you know what? I was there. I remember that. Let's go back to this picture. Let's go back to, I was there. So I just think the memory bank where in the older generation, it was your mind and you kind of reminiscent.
You had to. Yeah.
Versus now, you have your phone. You have your mind still too, but now it's like, well, if you didn't record and there's no picture, it didn't happen. Unfortunately, that's how people think.
But that's the thing, right? Picture, it didn't happen. That's always the thing.
And it's tough because it's like at the end of the day, you appreciate those pictures because sometimes that's all you got.
But I would say, you know what? The funny thing is, I'm gonna say the same thing to you. But I would 100%, if I was there for LeBron breaking the scoring record, would have been like this. You would have seen this. I would have
never
been doing
gonna
the
see it
same
again.
thing. I would have done the same thing.
You're never gonna see it again. That is a moment of history.
But my whole thing is, for me, with the way the phones are, I'm recording like this because I actually want to see the moment. Most people are like this, watching it through the. I guess it's the same thing.
Yeah, but then you go like this and you watch it back and you're filming like some hot dog guy in the corner. Like you're not even. Oops, sorry.
We might be filming Halle Berry sitting on the sideline watching too. So who knows?
You better be slick
Look,
if you're trying to do
knowing
that.
You'll see Halle Berry again. You ain't gonna see LeBron break the scoring record again.
No, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
but at the same time, you're tall enough. You can hold it a little bit to the side where it's not directly in your face. Come on now.
Yeah.
You act like you 80 years old with a phone.
Tall people advantage.
But the funny part about it is my wife's always tell me that I'm doing college radio. She's like, take some pictures. Like, I ain't got time to take pictures. I got to get to
my
the
wife
radio.
does the same shit to me all the time.
Yeah, women love pictures. Women love pictures,
I'm like,
boy.
Take some pictures. I'm like, I ain't got time. I'm like, so
she did the same thing to me at Arlington. You better take pictures. And I'm like, I am not allowed to take pictures. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you do it. I need to get smacked by some man with a sword.
Exactly.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I want to play this clip of Channing Tatum too, real quick, and get your take on it. This was from Road Trippin' with our good friend Allie Clifton. Channing Frye talking about. What's that?
I thought you said Channing Tatum.
Oh, Channing Tatum. Sorry, Channing Frye. What the fuck am I talking about?
I'm like, who? I'm like,
my brain is doing Gambit for some reason. All right, this was him talking about nostalgia's killing the NBA. I think he's actually got a pretty good point here.
Nostalgia is killing the NBA. The 90s basketball, Michael Jordan and Kobe, was not as clean as y'all think it was. Y'all forget that Jordan left the league for 2 years. Y'all forget that Kobe, rest in peace, quit on his team in the playoffs and did not shoot the basketball. So all this Kobe, Jordan, oh, he's not this, he's not that. That is propaganda. Every great player, whether that's Ant, Wemby, Bron, Steph, this, that. They compare him to a motherfucker 40 years ago. The rules weren't even the same. Nobody celebrates these new people. So why the fuck would anybody want to be the face of this league where you're going to get shitted on every network for not being somebody from 40 fucking years ago?
Oh, you got a little language heavy at the end there. He was doing good, making a point. Then he got a little F heavy, but yeah. Look, it's the age-old argument, right? Mm-hmm. It's the how do you compare two different eras of the same game?
Right.
And you kind of can. But I think Channing's point is, if that's what you're going to do, then you're going to kill the excitement around today's league because you're going to go, well, it's not the same that it used to be. Of course it's not. It's a different game. The game changes. Everything evolves. We got robot umpires in baseball now. Everything's going to change in time. But we lean so heavy on the NBA traditionalists about like, well, that's not how it was done. Well, yeah, we used to have hand checking too. We don't do that no more. Like, I mean, everything changes. But if you're gonna put that on the guys today, then yeah, of course you're gonna ruin the product.
Well, I think when you talk about overall product, the product now is different. You know, there's a lot of fucking jump shots. You know, and you know, Channing and I are the ones that kind of fucked the game up because we were those bigs that all of a sudden started shooting threes. And for me, I like the old game. I don't like the new game because, and it's just my opinion, because they allow them to travel, they allow them to carry, they allow them to do so many different things that if you love the game and you know the game, you know that's an advantage for the offense. Because most guys, when they talk about the game, these guys, I guarantee you, every dude that talks about it is a guy who played hard on both ends of the floor. It wasn't no fucking stupid ass term two-way players, because that's the dumbest fucking shit I ever heard when it comes to basketball. Because you're supposed to play basketball on both ends of the floor. And I think the guys who always sit back and talk about it, it's not like it was, it's guaranteed it's guys who were able to do it on both ends. And that's what, you know, I look at. And yeah, the game is different. It's all about shooting threes and getting shots up in 10 seconds. And so the game has changed. It's not as physical. We get that because you're trying to protect the players, even though they stay fucking hurt now any fucking way. So it's like you're protecting the players. Oh, we got to load manage. They stay fucking hurt. Oh, we got to cut the league down. We got to give more time out. They stay fucking hurt. And so for me, when you look at what he's saying, I get what Channing is saying, but when you talk about these quote unquote old school purists, this is what they're talking about, in my opinion. They're talking about the product that played on both ends of the floor, the product that wasn't like, oh, I got a sprained finger, I can't fucking play today. They cared about the fans. They cared about putting that product on the court that was going to be loved. And because of that product, everybody now is able to make this stupid ass money they're making for tarnishing the product that was what it was. So it's, you know, and I get what he's saying, but overall, the product was better because David Stern allowed that product to be better. You know, and that's no diss to Adam Silver, because I think Adam is doing a great job at pushing this game even further, but it boils down to the players. And all this came about because of the All-Star game. And everybody knows that the All-Star game is fucked up. These guys now don't want to fucking play, and they don't even want to be in it.
But it's not just the NBA. Every sport's that way. Look at the Pro Bowl.
Don't talk about hockey now. Don't talk about hockey. Hockey was fucking good.
No, the hockey one's fine.
Hockey was good.
But the Pro Bowl sucks. It sucks. The NBA All-Star Game sucks. Major League Baseball's All-Star Game's kind of back to what it used to be.
Yeah, but you know, we think about football. Football shouldn't. I think to me, these guys just spent 18 games trying to kill each other. Now at the end of the season, where you went out and had a couple of brews, you ain't in shape because you start hanging out with the family, hanging out with the kids, eating Mickey D's or whatever it may be. I don't think you should make those guys play at the end of the year, because that's another taxing game on their body. Now, the flag football to me is fun. Let them have some fun and enjoy. Yeah.
Just do punt, pass, and kick. That's all I care about. Just do that. Just do punt, pass, and kick. That was so much fun. Just bring that back.
Yeah, man. It's different. Yeah. But like you said, there are some things. There's a reason why that era of the NBA is called the golden era. There are just certain things that were done then, just some of the like little things that were done then that you can't do. Like if we talk about the hand checking, there are guys that if you breathe on them too hard going to the basket, they're turning around looking at the ref for a foul.
The Josh Hart flop the other night.
And you know, it's ridiculous because some of it is just, and like I said, I'm from this, I was born in the 90s, so I was young. I still saw some of it, but I was not a teenager in the 90s. So I both of y'all were. Y'all was grown in the 90s.
No, Rob was playing in the NBA in the 90s.
Well, he was a grown man. Yeah, y'all was grown. Y'all old.
I'm still a snotty-nosed kid, man. I was only 21.
But what I'm saying is, looking at a lot of that and seeing you barely getting touched when you go to the basket and everybody's turning around looking for a foul. Yeah. Everybody's looking for something to complain about. Everybody's wondering, you know, with the James Harden step back, like you said, some of that we looking at, is that a travel? Mm-hmm. Like some of these things are kind of like, bro, when they look at the 90s, it's like I can understand why they feel the way they feel. It's like, bro, that's not. Now, they can go too far sometimes with it because you have to understand that things advance and things. Players have gotten faster. Players, your third and fourth guy on the team is very athletic and very gifted. So things have changed and the game has advanced. But some of these things I understand it because it's like, bro, that's not – you sat out because you don't want to play a back-to-back? Bro, they pay you to play a back-to-back. You're going to have back-to-backs. That's why they pay you millions of dollars. You make 10 times more money than they did in the 90s, and they played. Mike didn't cheat the game. Now, I know he left for 2 years. Baseball is his first love, but when Mike played, he played. And he was underpaid most of his career. He didn't start making 30 into the back end of his career.
He only made 30 one time.
And that was at the end of his career.
Yeah. By the way, if you want to really make yourself puke, go look at Jordan's career salaries. Holy God.
Yeah.
He got paid next to nothing for a long time to be the face of the NBA.
You got third and fourth string.
But his
you got
endorsement money made it up.
You got third and fourth guys on the team making $75 to $100 million.
Yeah.
Now, that's the advancement of the league. Great. I love it. And that's what I love. Get your money. But those guys also, some of them only playing 20, 30 games a year.
Yeah, but when you always talk about the face of the league, how many of these guys want to be the face of the league?
Ant said he don't want to.
See, and that's the whole thing.
I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to be either.
Yeah, and here's the whole point that I get to. You're at a point now where there's so much coverage of the NBA. There's not just one face. There are multiple faces of the league. And you think about it, you got the Greek Freak, you got Joker, you got LeBron, you got, all these people that are the face of the league. Because the league is the coverage and the smartphones, and the streaming services. It's so much better. Even Christian called me last night, yo, Dad, what's the max password so I can watch the Laker game? Back then you could be like, oh, it's on. I can't see it because I can't get it in my area.
Yeah, you better go to a bar.
Me, and to me, there's so many different faces. It's not just going to be just one. Okay, it was Magic and Bird, then it was Jordan, and then you think about it, after Jordan, who has really been the face of the league? We hadn't had one. You know why? Because we had so many guys that was so freaking good that you really didn't need a face of the league.
So I put it through a different window though. Mm-hmm. I put it through, if I showed my wife a picture of somebody, would she know who it is? Mm-hmm. That's what and that's not maybe necessarily a fair filter, you know what I mean? But she knows Shaq, she knows LeBron, she knows Steph. You show her a picture, she's like, oh yeah, Steph Curry. Mm-hmm. If I show her a picture of Kendrick Perkins, she's gonna be like, I have no goddamn clue who that is. You know what I mean? So it's that's sort of like if I showed her a picture of Wembanyama, maybe she would know Wemby. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the filter I put it through. But if I showed her Jokic, she wouldn't know who Jokic was.
Yeah,
she just wouldn't. She would know his name. If I said his name, she'd go, oh, okay, I didn't know that's what he looked like. Yeah. But that's LeBron to me is more or less he's the face of the NBA because he's the highest scoring player, arguably one of the best to ever play.
They've been there
Shaq,
forever.
Kobe, Jordan, those are the people, right? Because he's been there forever. But those are the people that you look at. You're like, yeah, no, I could hold that phone up to a picture of my wife, and my wife would be like, oh yeah, I know who that is.
And plus, it's also how you are marketed from your crew, because most of these guys now they don't come across marketable to the masses, And a lot of these guys, you think, let's take Ja for instance. He was about to be the face of the league, in my opinion, if you had to pick a face. But then he had all the stupid stuff that happened with the gun, and then he had all the freaking off-the-court stuff. And now it's like, who's the face? Then you got Ant-Man who was there, and he said he doesn't want it. And I hate to say it, I think a lot of times they shy away from the foreign guys because of the accent and where, and a lot of people well, this is America's game. They want to put their hand on someone that's American, and which is, I don't think is right because basketball is, worldly. So I think a lot of that plays into all of this. So at the end of the day, I think we should just make Brandon Harper the face of the NBA.
Done.
Pay him about $20 million.
No. Darko Radakovic already said Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes, face of the league. Scotty Barnes.
To do what? What we doing?
No, you gonna be the face of the NBA from here on out. NBA.
Doing what? Playing?
No, just you gonna be the face.
That's your designation. You're like the Pillsbury Doughboy. You don't actually get cooked.
Oh,
but you're the guy.
So I'm kind of like an ambassador of a sort.
I like that. There you go, ambassador.
Oh, okay. How much I'm getting?
Oh no, it's a volunteer.
Oh hell, somebody call Adam Silver. Does he know this? Somebody get somebody on the phone.
I don't know who.
Hey, I'm getting 20% of that though. I just put you out there like that.
Done.
Yeah, we can make that work.
Done.
Ain't no problem with that.
And you're moving to Texas so we can get more money.
Ooh, Houston?
Oh, yeah.
Wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
You're going to put B-Dog with $10 million in Houston? Him and James Harden going to have some fun.
Forget that. I don't want nah. I'm not hanging with him. His beard's scruffy. Mine look better than his.
Oh, okay.
You can't hang out. I don't care how much money you got. Get that ugly beard away from me.
True Southern beard off.
Nah,
is what we're doing.
mine
Yeah.
better. Matter of fact, I may be able to put him onto some beard oils that can help fix whatever that is on his face. So, yeah. So,
Man.
and me in Houston?
Oh, boy.
Oh, with them beautiful?
with a
Man,
bag?
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Hold on, better. All right, let's wrap. We're going long on shoot around, so let's wrap it up here real quick. I want to bring you one more story. What would you do? This came to us from Matt. Great story. I saw it in the news. He wanted me to bring it up. An Australian couple says they were forced to sit next to the body of another passenger who died midway through their flight. They were on Qatar Airways. They were flying from Melbourne, Australia to Doha when a woman on board collapsed and died. Airline policy is, because it was further to go back than it was to get to their destination, they put her in a seat furthest away from groups of people as possible, covered her with a blanket, and they made this couple sit next to her for 4 hours on their flight.
That's crazy.
What do you do?
I ain't never heard of nothing
Now,
like
they don't
that.
do this to Rob because his ass up in first class. But
Shit, I ain't been in first class lately.
us po folk back here in coach
Yeah, I know.
get sit up next to a dead woman.
Yeah, I know it's been a few weeks since you've been in first class. So,
Yeah.
yeah it's been a few.
Well,
Just
what
a
do
few
you do?
weeks.
They go, hey, listen, Mr. Harper, we hate to inconvenience you, but your seat is the most isolated on the plane. We got to put this woman over here next to you.
And I'm not in first class?
No. Your ass on
Oh, y'all gonna find me another seat.
That's what I said.
Y'all gonna find me another
I
seat.
said no.
Matter of fact, for
you
my
find me another where to
inconvenience,
sit.
for my inconvenience, I'm moving to first class. I'm getting on another flight and I'm sitting in first class.
Well, you can't get you halfway in the air.
Well,
can't
you
do
better
that.
pull somebody away from first. Look, you
And
better do
what?
something.
Put him next to the dead lady?
What? You ain't gotta tell them that they dead. Just saying that she sleep. She really is sleep.
She had the in-flight meal. She got the itis. She went to bed.
Okay, I'll say this. Okay, if I am sitting next to this person and I got to be on this flight for 4 hours next to this individual, you all are going to compensate me on another flight, and I'm sitting first class, and maybe some other things. But it starts at first class.
Yeah, I would have some demand.
Hey, first of all, I won't be like that flight that flipped over. You gave them 30. And I want more than that because you got to think about
Ain't
this.
none of them took that 30.
They
no
filed
way.
a lawsuit.
Yeah.
No, they get the 30 plus they get to file a lawsuit.
Oh,
but
All right.
cool.
But you got to think about this. You think about when people die, they normally let everything out, all the bowel movements and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you have to think about that too. So first of all, the next time I fly on your airline, I ain't paying for shit. I'm in first class, and this is a lifetime because a life was gone, and I had to sit next to it. Especially when you have the ability to take that body and put it back there and put it in the bathroom, sit her in the bathroom. I hate to be that kind of person, but you got to think about you could put her in the bathroom,
Well, but that
lock that door.
But what
and
happens
say
when they
this
go to the
is out of
bathroom?
order. A plane has 3 or 4 more other bathrooms on it because that flight was an 8-hour flight.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big plane, so you got other bathrooms. And so that's some creepy ass shit. And I hate to be that disrespectful to the dead.
No, but you have to start thinking about the other people on the plane who are still alive, and that's not to be disrespectful. It's just to be, if I force this couple to sit next to a dead lady for 4 hours, we getting sued.
Yeah.
We're going to get sued, and that's probably what this couple is going to do. They're going to go after this airline. I think it's Qatar, or whatever the hell it is.
And they got a
Sue the
ton of
hell
money.
out of these people. They know they got money, emotional damage. You forced me to do something I didn't want to do, and I'm going to sue the hell out of you now.
Yeah.
So you got to do a little damage control, and that's not to be disrespectful. But hell no.
You hate to be disrespectful today, but you could have put her in the bathroom, man, locked the door.
You could have done a lot of things, but you got to figure something out. You do not park this poor woman.
You better off not even putting a blanket over and just saying she's asleep. Like B said, like you putting a blanket over now, you're like, oh.
That's some morbid shit, though, man. Like, I don't,
Yes.
But I don't, I'm with you. I'm flying for free for the rest of my damn life. You're never doing this again. It ain't ever happening. All right, that was the
Fly
last
for
one.
free or take $250,000. Which one would you do?
Fly for free or $250,000. I'll take the $250,000. I don't fly that much.
Yeah, me too.
I only fly once or twice a year, so You fly all the
taking-
time, so
I'm
maybe for
taking
you.
250 grand.
Yeah, I think I'll take the 250.
Yeah, I'll take the two. Yeah, I'm good. I'll buy an airline ticket. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I bet you I could still bully them into flying for free.
Yeah, exactly.
You just got to call customer service. I was the people that got sat next to the dead lady. And they're like, all right, we're going to comp this ticket, sir.